Hello, my cosmic friends. Welcome back to my channel, Beautiful Cosmos Tarot 2. My name is Cosmos. Nice to meet you if you are new. If you're one of my subscribers, welcome back. And if you're one of my channel members, thank you so much, guys, for joining my memberships. I truly appreciate it. And if you would like to join my memberships, go take a look. There are 3 different levels. Of course, it is not an obligation. Do not ruin your finances or anything like that. It's not an obligation, okay? But, the members do get special videos that the public doesn't get to see, among other perks. Okay, in this channel, I like to use the tarot to learn about K-pop in general, whether it's the idols, the companies, or just the industry, okay? Today, I actually have a paid reading today. Today, we are going to talk about Jimin and B's, aka Taehyung's, relationship, okay? Jimin and B are both part of the K-pop boy band BTS, and they debuted way back in the day on June 13, 2013. Both of them work under Big Hit Music, which is now a subsidiary of Hybe Entertainment. Right now, all of the members of BTS have finally completed their mandatory military service and are preparing for a world tour, a comeback, and many other things that we don't know yet, but they're preparing for all of it, okay? Jimin, he is the the main dancer, the lead vocalist. He was born on October 13, 1995, making him a Libra. And B is the visual and sub vocalist of the group. He was born on December 30th, 1995, making him a Capricorn. So they're not that far apart from each other when it comes to age. I like to start off my readings with current energy and move on from there. And when I mean relationship, I am not talking about them as lovers or anything like that, okay? I am not. A lot of people just assume when they hear the word relationship, and I don't blame you for thinking that, but I am not talking about that, okay? I mean, but if you think they have that kind of relationship, you let me know in the comments below why you think that. Okay. B and Jimin. What is the energy around your current relationship? Okay, currently, I just heard it's a stressful one. Not because they're hating on each other or anything like that, but being back as a whole, as a group, that has been challenging. All members of BTS love each other very much. They do. They respect each other. They are supporting each other. But when you've been separated for a while, you change. Life goes on. In this case, life went on individually for 7 people. Now, while it is easier to get used to being around each other again, because in the past they were, right? They were together almost all the time. There is still an adjustment period, so that has caused a little bit of stress. But nothing too serious between Jimin and B. We have courage. While there has been some tension here and there, right? Perhaps, Jimin forgot that B used to do this. And now he's remembering how annoying it was whenever B will do certain things. And vice versa. Whenever Jimin does something that was annoying for B, I see B saying, oh, I remember when you used to do that. It was annoying then. It's still annoying now. Maybe there's some tension there, but nothing too serious once again. And it looks like speaking up about, telling the other, please don't do that. I told you in the past that I don't like that. Why are you still doing it now? It looks like sometimes there is a little bit of awkwardness, and it takes a little bit of courage to speak up and say, hey, don't do that. You stopped doing them back in the day when I told you I didn't like it, so don't do that now. So yeah, like I said, there is an adjustment period. Okay, we have receptivity. And even though sometimes it may take a little bit of courage to speak up and say, hey, I don't like what you're doing, don't do that. Both of them understand. They are receptive. So Jimin says, okay, you don't like that? Okay, I'll stop doing it. I'm sorry. And same thing with B. You don't like when I did that? Okay, I'm sorry. I won't do it anymore. And by the way, I see RM in the background, like watching them. RM, he is the leader of BTS. So yeah, RM is still keeping an eye on his kids. He will step up if it's necessary, but it looks like so far it has not been necessary. Okay, completion. And even though sometimes things can be a little tense between these two people, Jimin and B, it is nice, still, it is nice to be back together again. To have the whole gang back together again. It looks like whenever both of them were in the military, they were still keeping in touch, right? It's not like they were isolated or anything like that. They were still keeping in touch. But even then, they felt that they had to be careful because, you know, in any type of service branch, whether it's the Army, the Marines, the Air Force, and whatever else is there out there, you have to be careful with the things you say to others, right? You don't want to reveal too much. Even if it's by accident, you can get in trouble, right? So there was always this sense of, I love talking with you, but at the same time, I can't really talk with you. So it will feel like an incomplete conversation. Because once again, they had to be careful with the things they would say, with the things that they would send to each other and stuff like that. But now that they're in person, now it feels like they're having complete conversations. As friends. I just heard that. As friends. Now that, you know, they're finally in one spot and they're not in military bases, now they feel like, okay, now we can really express what we wanted to say, what we want to say. We have guilt. Interesting. Comparison. Change. And traveling. It looks like in the past, Jimin would compare himself a lot to others, not just to the members in his own K-pop band, but to other idols. There were times Jimin would not feel good enough. B, he would sometimes also have, you know, those moments of comparison. We have all done it at least once in our lifetime, right? Comparing ourselves to others. It's not a good thing, but let's be honest, we have done it. However, it looks like Jimin was the one that would compare himself the most. And sometimes that will get to his head. It will make him feel sad. It will make him feel depressed to the point that sometimes he would just cry. And sometimes, well, emotions will catch up to him in the not so good moments. For example, when Jimin and B will be having a conversation and it's supposed to be a happy conversation, right? You know, laughing about something that happened in the past. And then somehow they deviate from that topic and then out of nowhere, Jimin starts crying. It looks like that will bring a lot of guilt on Jimin for ruining the moment. And even now, it looks like Jimin, whenever, you know, memories come back and stuff like that, he feels guilty for making B and the other members uncomfortable. Whenever he would cry, whenever he was just hit with this wave of depression out of nowhere. But I can see B comforting Jimin. I see a lot of comfort there. And even though there are moments that Jimin feels guilty for, not being strong enough, not being flexible enough, not being a good dancer, or just not being a good idol. From Jimin's point of view, okay, I'm not saying he's either one of those things, but from Jimin's point of view, it looks like he sometimes feels guilty for ruining moments. But I can see B saying, honey, it's okay. This is a new beginning. Here with change. Here we have traveling. We are literally going to travel. Different places. We're going to go on tour. We're going to have a comeback. So we are going to be traveling literally, but we're also... Now, I don't see B being a very spiritual type of person, but it looks like, from time to time, he has his moments. And he's saying, you know what? This is a new beginning for us. A new phase for us to get to know each other on a more personal level. Now that we have had more experience, not just as idols, but also being part of the military, sharing time with other people besides ourselves, now it's a time for change, and a good one. For us to get to know each other even more. For us to go out there, once again, have the courage and show everybody that, you know what, we may not be the softy teenagers. We are grown men, and it doesn't matter how old you are, we can still keep going in this industry. So B is, I would say, emotionally the stronger one here. I am not calling Jimin weak by any means. Okay, I am not. I can see Jimin has matured a lot. He has grown a lot as a person. But, it looks like Jimin, he's just a little bit more sensitive out of the two. And it happens. There's always that person in a group of friends, right? The one that is, not unemotional. I guess I can say that. But there's always that one with a little bit of a stronger character, and then there's a more sensitive one. And I can see it being Taehyung. I'm just gonna call him B so I don't confuse myself. I can see B being this more emotionally strong one, and Jimin being the more sensitive one. Don't get me wrong though. Whenever it's needed, Jimin does have a lot of courage. He does. Okay. Let's keep looking, because I'm not done. Oh, and also to the person that wanted this reading, thank you for waiting. Thank you for waiting. I mean, I have a full-time job, guys. So as much as I would love for YouTube to be my full-time job, at the moment it is not possible. I do make some, extra money from YouTube, but at the moment it's not enough for me to say, okay, that's it. I'm going to quit my full-time job and just do this full-time, okay? So thank you for waiting. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, this deck caught my attention. Let's see, what else can we learn about this relationship between Jimin and B? Okay, this one too. Usually I don't use this deck that often. This is the Archetypes deck. Usually I don't really use it that much. But it really wanted to come out, and I'm surprised by how many cards we got. So give me 1 second so I can arrange these. Okay, can you see that? Yes, you can. Okay. Let's see. We had the artist. The artist, and you know what? I see Jimin. Let's see, light attributes. Expressing a dimensional life that is just beyond the 5 senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. Shadow attributes, using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. Okay, that part doesn't resonate with Jimin. But yeah, between B and Jimin, it looks like Jimin is the more artistic one. I don't follow BTS, so I don't know if he has other artistic talents, outlets besides, being an idol. And yes, I do consider idols artists. I do. Every artist can get an assignment and interpret it in their own way, make it look nice, make it look graceful. So yeah, it looks like Jimin is the artist. However, here with the shadow attributes about what was it? Posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. Like I said, between B and Jimin, it looks like Jimin is the most sensitive one. It looks like a lot of people feel that sometimes Jimin, he's just acting like that on purpose. Sometimes people feel that, he's the quote-unquote crybaby. That was the personality that he was assigned. In case you're new to K-pop, well, companies, they assign personalities. They can do that. You may be the playful, outgoing one, but if they say no, you're going to be the quiet, mysterious one, you're going to be the quiet, mysterious one. Because if you don't want to do it, well, there's other trainees that are more than willing to do that. So a lot of people think that that is something that was assigned to him. But no, that's the way Jimin is. Ever since he was little, from what I can see. So a lot of people think that he just wants to elicit pity. But no, he's not like that. We have bully. Light attributes highlights your tendency to intimidate others. Helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. And we have shadow attribute. Conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical. I cannot say that word. How can I say this? Okay, I'll say it like this. Hides deep fears behind verbal or physical actions towards others. Bad actions towards others. There we go. Because I cannot say that word. YouTube doesn't like it, okay? I remember back in the day when you were just able to say words. Of course, not horrible words, but geez, some regular words. It looks like, once again, between Jimin and B comes out as the stronger one. I mean, emotionally, from what I can see, he is the stronger one. A little bit tough, and sometimes he comes out a little too tough that sometimes people just don't want to be near B. He scares others. Not because B is trying to be mean. I am not calling him, a bully by any means. No. But it's just the way sometimes that B carries himself. For example, if there is a problem and he's constantly thinking about that problem and he's so focused on that idea, he's not really guarding his face. I had a friend that would say to me, Cosmos, your face comes with subtitles. So even if I wanted to, show to the world that I was not angry, that I was fine, my face will betray me. It looks like B is also going through this, like, maybe his body is saying, oh, I am happy. Yeah, I was thinking about, that thing, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. No, his face betrays him. His face is saying, I don't want to be here. I'd rather be solving this. I'd rather be doing this. Or the vibe that this person gives me, I don't like it. I don't want this person near me. In the matter what he's doing with his body, his face is betraying him. So he is intimidating to some people. To the members of BTS, they have spent a long time together. 7+ years at this point. So they know that, he's not angry. He's not really angry at the person in front of him. He's just rather be doing something else. Or they see him and they're like, okay, well, you know what? Let's give him a moment. Let him figure it out. He'll come to us. No need to push him. RM sometimes comes out like that too. I know we're not talking about RM, but I'm picking up on him. Okay, let's keep looking. We had the martyr. I hope I'm saying that word right. Martyr. martyr. M-A-R-T-Y-R. Martyr. Okay, the light attributes. Learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. And then we have shadow attribute. Addiction to self-pity. Okay, remember when I said that some people think that, being the quote-unquote crybaby was the personality that was assigned to Jimin? B hates that a lot. He hates that a lot. It looks like whenever Jimin cries, well, obviously there's something that is bothering him. He may not be in pain physically, but emotionally, there's a lot of things going on. A lot of things that sometimes Jimin doesn't say it. But B, he really pays attention. He notices those kinds of things. So he really hates it whenever people say, oh, Jimin is crying again. Here we go. Blah, blah, blah. He really hates them. B is very protective. I mean, not just of Jimin, obviously, but since we're talking about specifically these two, B is a very protective person. We have Angel. I just heard playing the hero. I just heard that. Playing the hero, quote unquote, and I see B. Well, dang, okay. So it looks like, once again, some people feel that, whenever B, is comforting or defending Jimin, a lot of these conflicts, we don't see them in front of the cameras, okay? A lot of this is behind the stage. Either people are jealous of Jimin, they think they're better than him. Some people even feel that, Jimin should not even be here at all for some reason. Some people feel that B, he's just trying to play the angel, playing the hero. But that's not it. B truly cares for Jimin. Wait, who was the oldest? I forgot. Hold on. Jimin. You're from October. Okay. And B, you're from December. Oh. Okay, so technically B is the younger one. But it looks like he acts as the big brother. And Jimin comes out more as the little brother, even though he's a little bit older. Not that much, but a little bit older. So they switch roles, no? I'm not saying, baby brothers or baby sisters cannot be brave, because I know my sister is. Compared to me, she's a brave one. But, yeah. A lot of people just feel that, B, he's just playing the hero, pretending to be the angel. No, he's not. He's just being protective. Even though Jimin is older, it's almost like Taehyung sees Jimin as the little brother that he has to protect. Okay. The light attribute of Angel, it says, helping those in need with no expectation of return. Yeah, definitely. That's B right there. Is it nice to feel appreciated by the things that you do? Yes. But he doesn't do it with that kind of expectation. Okay, we have the shadow attributes. Acting innocent or angelic to mislead others. Falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. Yeah, once again, some people feel that B, he's just pretending. He's just quote unquote playing the hero. But no, he's not doing that. Not at all. We have Mother. Oh, interesting. Light attributes: nurture, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. And the shadow attributes: smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. Well, nobody is instilling independent. Nobody is putting guilt on anybody, okay? So that part doesn't resonate. But here with the smothering part. Smothering just basically means you You're so protective that you don't let your child breathe. You know, I have heard the phrase as helicopter parents. The ones that are constantly there, they don't let the children breathe, they don't let them go out, they don't let them try an activity. Because, oh, that is so dangerous. No, that would be too hard. No, that's not good for you. No, 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 no. So that would be smothering. They don't let their children breathe, they don't let them explore. Some people, once again, and this is mostly behind the scenes, we don't see this in public, but it looks like some people feel that, you know what, he's just smothering Jimin, and that's why Jimin is oh, I don't want to say that word. How do I say this? Okay, I'll go back to the crybaby. That's why Jimin sometimes is a quote-unquote crybaby, because you know what, he's just smothering him. He's babying him too much. Okay, yes, from the outside looking at them, yes, it seems very cute. Almost motherly that B is taking care of Jimin. And by the way, I also see Jimin taking care of B, but I mostly see that behind the scenes. Okay. And that is based on current energy. Like I said, I don't follow BTS, so I don't know their dynamics from the past. You guys let me know if things have changed from, from what you know. But at least based on the current energy, on the present, Jimin does take care of B, okay? It's not just B doing all of the taking care of. No, Jimin does, but it's mostly behind the scenes. Mostly behind the scenes. And especially during those moments that, they are alone for a little bit, in which B is probably frustrated and he just has to vent. He just has to let it out. Jimin is there, listening, not interrupting, sharing a snack if that's what B needs. Okay, he'll give him a snack. So yeah, from Jimin, it's mostly in private. But it looks like B has no problem doing that in public. Okay. We have Alchemist. Interesting. Light attribute. Transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. Shadow attribute. Misuse of the power and knowledge that come through spiritual practice. And we have Child Orphan. Light attributes. Independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. Shadow attributes. Feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. Okay. We had change in the beginning, and now we have transformation with the Alchemist. Both of these gentlemen, of course, they have matured, right? I think everybody in BTS is in their 30s. I feel like I don't know how many times I've been told their ages, but I always forget. Like I said, I don't follow BTS, okay? So, and there's a lot of other information that I try to keep up with in order to, have an idea what I'm talking about here. But yeah. Now that, military service is done, there's a lot of more maturing going on. Some people feel that now, okay, finally, Jimin is going to be a little more independent. That now finally, B is not going to smother him, take care of him almost like a mother. A lot of these people don't see Jimin taking care of B. That's why they talk a lot. And yes, I do see a little bit less of, B treating Jimin almost like a child. I do see less of that, but I don't see either Jimin or B abandoning each other. I don't. They're still gonna be there. But from, outsiders, it's going to look like there's definitely a change. A more mature change on both of them, but they're still gonna be there. Taking care of each other in whatever is it that they need. If one needs to vent and needs somebody to listen, okay, they'll be there. If they just need company, they'll be there. I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. I feel like it doesn't, but I hope it makes sense. But yeah, once again, from the outside, and this is once again not in front of the cameras, it's mostly behind the scenes, but from the people observing them, it's going to look like now they're finally taking care of each other in a mature way, because apparently the way it was before, it was way too immature. Even though, I mean, BTS started out not that young, but still fairly young. And it's not like their family members were in the company as well, so you know. Yes, sometimes they had to be a mom to each other. RM may be considered the dad in the group, but at least to Jimin, it looks like sometimes B was the mom most of the times, and sometimes he might be the dad, but it was mostly a mom. And also the other way around, Jimin sometimes will play that quote-unquote mom role, or he will just be the listener whenever B needs it. And you know what? This deck is catching my attention. Let's see what else. Ocean of eternal love, healing, creativity, fertility. We have Gaia, wisdom, knowledge, spiritual understanding. And eternal dance, movement, more change. Wheel of life, path of least resistance. While talking about maturing, I see Jimin and B, both of them saying, you know what, let's not do things the way we used to do it before. Let's not do it like that, where we will be hiding stuff to the point that, you know, we couldn't take it anymore. To the point where it makes us cry, or to the point where it makes us angry. Let's not do that. Let's be more open. Let's be more mature about it. Let's talk it out more. The brotherly love is definitely there, okay? Here with Ocean of Eternal Love is definitely there. I don't know if there's shipping going on between B and Jimin. You guys let me know. I don't know if there's shipping going on there, but it's definitely a brotherly love. It hasn't gone away just because, you know, they went their separate ways for the military. I don't know if they were on the same base. You guys let me know. Once again, I don't follow BTS. But that brotherly love is definitely there. It was there. It's still here. And like I said, V is not very spiritual from what I can see here. But if at any moment, you know, Jimin needed help, and he has to beg the higher powers, whoever that is to him, for help, he'll do it. He'll become spiritual if that's what he has to do. Okay? Jimin, he also doesn't come out as religious or spiritual. You guys let me know if, you know, that's not the case. At least back in those days, I think BTS is third generation. At least back in those days, well, the idols didn't really talk about their beliefs. Now we see idols, especially Felix or Stray Kids, no? Now they're talking a little bit more about their own beliefs, but at least back in third gen, the idols will not do that. Jimin is not that spiritual either, but there are moments that I do see him praying. So once again, same thing for him. If he has to be more religious, more spiritual in order to help out B in any shape or form, and the other members of BTS too, but the reading is about Jimin and B. If in order to help B, he has to be more spiritual, he'll do it. He doesn't care. He'll do it. So definitely, the kind of relationship they have is a very supportive one. A brotherly relationship. Sometimes they do mother each other or father each other, however you want to phrase that. B is the, well, tougher one. Not in a physically tough way. He just comes out like that. But you know, between the two, Jimin is the little more sensitive one. Nothing wrong with that. But B is not playing the hero, unlike what others think. He's never playing the hero. He's not a bad person. Of course, B, he's also a very creative artist. But between the two, it looks like Jimin is a little bit more artsy. Not just when it comes to music, but other types of, outlets to express himself. And once again, one thing that B would like it for Jimin is to stop feeling guilty, whether things happen in the past or whether things happen now. He doesn't like that. Because at the end of the day, well, Jimin is human. And B keeps telling him, stop apologizing, stop feeling guilty for being human. Our line of work is not easy. It is not like it is in the West. A lot of people don't understand it, besides us. So, as of right now, there is a little bit of an adjustment period, but nothing too serious, okay? Tension from time to time, but nothing too serious. And they'll do whatever it takes to make their bond work, their friendship, their brotherly bond, and of course with the rest of BTS. And that is what I am seeing, okay? I hope you like this reading. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Let me know if things have changed, if you have seen a change. Like I said, I don't follow BTS. So, and yeah, I feel very blind whenever I do stuff for BTS. I feel very blind going in. And I mean, that's not a bad thing, right? But yeah, sometimes I kind of wish I had some more background on them. But oh well, we will see. Alright guys, I'm gonna be quiet now. I wish you guys the best. I wish BTS, Jimin and B the best. And I will see you on the next one. Like, share, and subscribe. Next live Q&A will be on July 26th. So hopefully you can make it. Alright guys, I will see you next time. Bye!